So this is my midpoint check-in. So I'm over halfway through at the time of filming this, which is very exciting. I've talked about this in some of the previous videos, the monologue videos, but yeah, I did skip a day, and I did actually end up. I didn't reveal this, but I think a couple days after this video launches, I can't remember which days exactly, but I skipped 2 days. I took 2 days off. It was mostly because I was swamped with work, but I was also just kind of exhausted, and I felt rejuvenated and reinvigorated to jump back into them after taking a couple of days off. So let that be a lesson. You don't need to write every day. I think it's okay to take a day off. In fact, some of my teachers talk about the importance of it taking at least one day off a week from all work, and I highly agree with that. If you can, some people. I certainly just worked for 3 or 4 weeks straight without a day off just recently. That was hard. That was very difficult, and I was doing the monologue challenge at the same time, so it was kind of just like long days too, and everything like that. So it's important to take a day off, because that day it's almost like a day, when you go to sleep, your brain sort of gets to process thoughts. So it's even taking a day of rest is sort of like that day to process, and it gives you a chance for your brain to breathe, and then ideas come flying in. It's sort of like when you're in a shower, and you don't have anything else to occupy your mind with. You have these shower thoughts, right? So having like a lazy day actually lets you have these thoughts, and you might have a breakthrough in your story, or you might have an idea for a new business, or whatever you do. And so it's important to take those days, I think. And that's something that I try to give more to myself, and not feel bad for taking those days off. But I did also, speaking of days off, there was sort of a day early on, day 8, I think, something around there, where it wasn't so much that I was exhausted, it was just that I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do this challenge. I really was just like, oh God, I do not want to do this today. I was feeling sort of just like tired, exhausted. I was just feeling like I didn't want to do it. And then I did it, and I was extremely grateful that I did. The reason why is, I know this kind of contradicts what I just said about taking a day off, but the reason why I feel good about not taking that day off, and why I feel good about taking days off later, is that day was early on, and I also wasn't that tired. I wasn't that overworked, I guess. It was more just like I just didn't want to do it. And I think if I hadn't done it that day, there's a chance that I wouldn't have gone back the next day. And I also thought about it after I did it, and after I had a lot of fun doing it. And I realized that this challenge is kind of the highlight of my day. It's something that I just get to create, and I get to jump in front of the camera and film it, and then share it with people. It's exactly what I want to do with my life. So why would I not spend, 9 out of every 10 days doing it? And that was sort of like a big revelation to me, that, oh my God, I was spending lots of days prior to this not doing the things that really bring me fulfillment. And so even taking like an extra hour every day to work, and even though that means that, I have one less hour to relax, I have one less hour to watch TV, I have one less hour to watch movies, I have one less hour to blah, 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 I'm still having a good time. And it's time that feels important to me. And it's time that makes me feel like I'm moving forward in my own pursuits, as well as at work. as well as whatever projects I'm working on for other people. I'm still taking an hour most days out of my schedule for me. And that is very important, I think, because my mood, honestly, drastically improved. Over the last couple weeks. And that was crazy to me, because I was feeling really down. I was spending hours and hours every day working on other people's stuff, and in addition to sort of personal things that I was going through. And it felt like I was just, like, life was just sort of rushing past me. And I could see myself doing the same thing 5 years down the line. I could see myself sort of in the same position. And that really scared me. It really did. And so, I don't know why I spoke like that. And so, I just wanted to do something for me. And this was that. This was my way of making time for myself. And I think that's really important, to make time for yourself, whether that be whatever you're working on. You know, you don't have to be necessarily a writer or a creative or anything, but maybe it's you haven't been doing a hobby that you really like to do. Maybe it's going on a hike. Maybe it's going to the gym. The gym feels like a great analogy for this, because that's what it feels like every day. It feels like I'm going to the gym. It feels like I'm going to the gym and that I can feel the muscle growing. But more than that, you just feel good about yourself when you make it to the gym. At least I do. I haven't been in a while. Ironically, I haven't been to the gym, but I have been doing this, so, but you feel good that you just made it inside the doors, with the gym. And that's how I feel about this every day. I made it through the doors. And then whatever I do in there is pretty good. No matter what, I'm pretty happy with myself no matter what I end up doing at the gym, because I just made it to the gym, and maybe I just, go on the treadmill for 15 minutes. Maybe I lift some weights. Maybe I hit a new record, Either way, I made it into the gym that morning, and that's a victory in itself. So I think that's sort of like the key takeaway from this so far, is just do it. Just do it. And that's sort of the point of this whole challenge anyway, was just to do it. It wasn't to, craft fine art, although if something comes out, which a lot of these I was actually pretty happy with, then it's great. But the point was to just do it. And I've done it, and I'm still doing it. And it's weird to me too, since I'm filming this a little past the midpoint, everything's out of chronology, that the challenge will come to an end soon, and I don't know what to do next. Well, that's not true. I do know what to do next, which I might talk about in the finale, I guess, video that I do to sort of wrap this all up. But it's given me sort of it's given me exactly what I hoped it would, a sort of reinvigoration. It's given me momentum. It's given me the faith that I can write, and that I can write to be performed, and that I can write to make it. I got faith in myself that I can make it. And that's really important, I think. At least for me as a writer, I need to know that I can create it. And I lost that faith in myself for months. And now I think I'm finally sort of starting to grab it back. And I hope I don't lose it. And I think this channel, I think these videos will help me not to lose it. And that's very exciting. It's very, very exciting. Anyway, I think that's sort of, to wrap it all up, key takeaway, the challenge has been a lot of fun so far, and it's been, I think, a good success, and shows that just by doing it, by going to the gym every day, or doing whatever you want to, you can find time, I think. And it doesn't have to be 3 hours. It doesn't have to be 4 hours to write, or whatever you do. It can be 30 minutes A lot of these videos I got done in 30 to 40 minutes. That whole monologue, filmed, recorded, all done in 30 to 40 minutes. Less than an hour that I give myself. And, if I gave myself, a bit more time, I could write more, etc. But, just giving myself that little bit every day. And by the end of the month, I'll have 30 videos and 30 monologues just from 30 to 45 minutes a day. That's not much time. And what a great payout. So I would encourage anyone who's thinking about things that maybe they feel like they've lost touch with in their life, whether, like the gym, like woodcrafting, like any of these things, just go and try and do it just for 15 minutes a day, for 20 minutes a day. And by the end, I think you might feel like me, a lot happier with yourself and where you're at. Anyway, I think that's a good place to stop. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed. And I'll see you tomorrow for another monologue challenge. Thank you so much.